Labour MP Matt Bishop has been supporting Emily, haven't you, throughout this case and her plight, and also joined her to support her with a meeting with the CEO, Joy Boydell. How did you come to be in contact with the survivor that we're calling Emily? How did it start for you?
Yeah, morning, Kate
Morning.
and Paul.
Morning.
Look, ultimately, when this news story broke a few weeks ago now, I think myself and a few of my colleagues were just astonished that something like this could happen. So we started putting letters together. You might have seen the letter that was signed cross-party by 100 MPs or more than 100 MPs and peers. But actually, we were deeply conscious about re-traumatising victims or survivors in cases such as these. So we reached out via another channel and via the police and said to the victim if they'd like to approach us and get in contact just to make sure they were content with what we were doing, then we'd be happy to do that. And then Emily contacted us in due course.
I just wanted to ask you about the Chief Executive's response as well, Matt, and maybe we'll just listen to a bit of what Joe Boydell had to say first, because this is what has really upset Emily, the survivor, actually, is the way that the Chief Executive has dealt with it. Let's just see what she said to our reporter, Ashna.
I'm so sorry to the victim for what happened to her. I'm horrified that it happened in one of our hotels, and I really want to apologise, and also for the way we've handled the case subsequently, which clearly has exacerbated things for her. So I am really, really sorry. And what I would say to the general public and to our customers is that we are working really, really hard to make sure that we are doing everything we can to make the change that's needed. I first found out about the detail of the case when it was reported by the BBC. It's very clear to me that something went wrong with our processes, and that went badly wrong. And what we need to do is to make sure that doesn't happen again, so that we could take action much faster if anything can happen in the future. But I definitely would apologise for the way we handled her case, as I say, from the point at which she reported it right through to now. I would say I'm really sorry if she did feel dismissed, and we are definitely listening to what she has to say, which is hugely helpful for us in terms of making sure that we do the right thing going forward. The hotels with key cards have deadbolts, but clearly something went wrong here, and that needs to be investigated.
Are you currently aware of other instances? Have they been brought to your attention of strangers entering people's rooms?
We've certainly heard of other instances that are different to this one in terms of not keys being obtained by deception, but any instance of somebody entering a customer's room that they haven't given explicit permission to, we understand would be upsetting and is not acceptable. And so that's why we're focused on this much broader review in terms of making sure we've considered everything to make sure that doesn't happen going forwards.
Because thus far to acknowledge it's not been good enough.
Yes, it's absolutely not good enough, and that's why the huge focus now is to make sure that we really take this opportunity to look long and hard, make sure we do a really thorough but urgent review. We're really aware that pace really matters here now, but make sure we've considered everything properly, and then put policies and procedures in place, as I say, for us, but also hopefully start to really influence best practice across the whole hotel industry.
So, Matt, I just wonder what you make of Travelodge's response here, because Joe Boydell, the Chief Executive, is very apologetic in that interview with Ashna and sort of saying, that she's very, very sorry, particularly if Emily felt dismissed. Emily does say that she did feel it was a dismissive tone from Joe Boydell on a call that they had together that you were on, weren't you, last week when Emily met with Joe. I wonder what you made of that call and the tone of that call.
Yeah, Paul, I think it's the same as Emily. That's why my take is exactly the same. I think some of the responses, which I've asked Joe myself in the meeting that we did have with Joe, which was a very small meeting, not what we wanted and not what we want, about why it's taken 4 years or almost 4 years for her as the CEO to be made aware of this. I think there's some...
That's extraordinary. What does that say to you that she clearly is genuinely apologetic, you can see in that interview. However, it's almost unbelievable that such a serious crime happened in one of our hotels, went to court, charged, found guilty and sentenced, and the CEO still didn't know.
Still didn't know, and actually, the comments of, well, immediately making changes. Yeah, okay, immediately once you knew then, if that's true. But, we have to think that the only reason the CEO was made aware is because this news story broke in the press, and then the group of 100 MPs and peers wrote you a letter. If that hadn't have happened, and if it wasn't for Emily's bravery in going to the press, then actually would we have any changes at all?
Did you find Joe Boydell to be quite dismissive on that call?
I thought there was a little bit of dismissiveness and almost victim blaming.
So was she quite different in that interview to the way that she behaved on the call?
No, she was the same in the meeting of MPs. She was the same, very much deflective and very apologetic, and absolutely no question of that, but just dismissive concerns and questions, and put into the Emily that she should maybe look at locking the bolts, for example. Well, actually, she did, but it wasn't working.
Oh, I see. So the technology, because that's one of the things that seems obvious, that some kind of deadbolt that you could still unlock easily if there was a fire, or the old school chain around the door would be something that you'd think every hotel would want to put into place. What do you think should happen next?
Well, I think we need, look, whether it's statutory guidance and legislation, we need something, because what's astonishing now, actually, there's no guidance out there at the moment.
And you've had people contacting you, haven't you, with many other cases?
Yeah, dozens of cases. It's important to know it's not just Travelodge. All hotel chains are implicated in this. And there's many different examples. Some is in Emily's situation, some not as serious as Emily's situation. Dozens of examples, and something needs to change.
We've got quite a few texts coming in this morning on WhatsApp as well. For example, Mike from Anglesey on WhatsApp says, my wife and I stayed at a hotel in Newcastle under Lyme this weekend, and the deadlock on the door did not work. Sam says, while staying at an airport hotel, my young son was asleep and I'd just come out of the shower, was getting ready for bed when a member of housekeeping walked straight into my room without warning. So this is sort of a common
because they didn't think it was
experience.
Occurring.
Yeah,
it is. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Keep talking to us, because we want to pursue this situation as well. Now, if you've been affected by any of the issues that we've been talking about this morning, there is help and support available at itv.com/helplines.